Hi, everybody, and hi to the YouTubers. Welcome. I'm a little bit under the weather today. I have a chest cold. So we're going to focus on breath, um, that extremely precious presence that keeps us going and that we maybe don't think of too much until it until it's not coming that well. So um, as breath is very central. It's one of the three elements of Qigong: body, breath, and mind. And of course, it's fundamental to really virtually all meditation practices, at least that I know of. In the Taoist tradition, according to my teacher Trisha Yu, when doing still meditation, whether it's seated meditation or standing or lying down, the four adjectives to describe the breath are long, slow, even, and fine. Long, slow, even, and fine. So when we're, let's say, doing a sitting meditation practice, whether it's an open awareness practice or a contemplation or a concentration practice, whatever it is, we need to check in with our breath while we're doing that, because the breath will tell us how efficacious it is. So we can be, for instance, we can be doing insight practice and really gaining insight into something that's been mysterious or difficult. And then we'll notice that our breath is really intense and really heavy. We're breathing hard. And then we adjust our breath down. It gets that way because we're not focused, we're not paying attention to it. Okay. So with some mindfulness meditation teachers, they'll say, just notice your breath. Don't do anything to change it. And I would say that by noticing your breath, you're changing it. It's almost impossible not to. So changing the breath in these Taoist practices is skillful means. So when we're doing moving meditation, of course, the breath is going to be much deeper and faster, and then when we go into a stillness practice, then those four adjectives, long, slow, even, and fine, that's what we want to check into with the breath. And we don't want to wrestle with it to make it do that, but we just want to notice how the breath is and then keep those four adjectives in mind and let the breath just kind of come into harmony with those. And then the breath can be in balance with the body and the mind. And that's when the awakening happens. Okay, so I'll switch the view here. Okay, and we'll get started. And so we intentionally manipulate the breath at the very beginning, and we take 3 or 4 really deep breaths. In order to just to relax the body. And then as you're noticing your breaths, just take a peek at your mind too, that which is noticing. Is the mind real busy or fairly quiet? How's the mind? And then with each out breath, we want to progressively relax the body. So the breath is what keeps time, our rhythm. I want to mention right away at the beginning here. So there are a lot of breath practices in Qigong that have to do with imagining breathing in through different parts of the body. So for instance, with that in breath, we can imagine breathing in from the bottoms of the feet up to the chest, and then breathing out and breathing back down. Okay. And then again, breathing in and then breathing out up. Okay. So there's this vertical quality that we can reinforce through imagination of breath and moving the chi. And that's for alignment of heaven and earth. That's for alignment of form and boundlessness. Okay. And then the eyes direct that too. Okay. Okay, very good. And then another one is um, to breathe to breathe in from all around. So we're going to breathe in, penetrate the pores of the skin, light up the torso, and then breathe out in all directions. Now you can do reverse breathing with this. So as you're breathing, you're imagining breathing light into the body, you can be breathing out. It works both ways. And I encourage you to try it both ways. So when we're in harmony with the breath, we're in harmony with a rhythm that goes maybe 12 times a minute, which is pretty slow, and it slows us down. So the heartbeat is more like 60 a minute and much faster. And if the mind is running things, the mind uh, vibrates astonishingly fast. Okay, good. Well, let's go into backwash and tree and spring. Okay, and we're going to take a deep in breath, and then with the out breath, we'll begin the movement. You sort of collapse with the out breath, and then just breathe normally. All right, and coming back up. And then we begin the hands with an in breath. And then breathe normally. And then we're kind of directing the breath out, the crown, look up, out, and then exchange with the cosmos. Okay, and now all around. Okay, so we did the breathing vertically that time. So let's do it the second tree in spring. This just begins vertical. In breath, then out breath, out. Okay, and then hold at the top. And now in breath from all around. And then out breath, radiate. In breath, out breath. Okay, let's do that once more. So we're going to breathe in from below, up the body. We reach the heart, and then we're going to breathe out. Okay, and then connect way, way, way up. And now this radiant one, we're breathing in and out from all directions. Okay, very good. And let's do a second backwash. Okay, come up. Okay, now we're bringing up the attention up through the body and out the top, and then all around. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3. Good. Okay, and one more backwash. Okay, let's come back up. Let's hold this extended position for a moment. Okay, so with the arms up, this opens the lungs. And the body, according to the old teachings, the body becomes a conduit for this connection of earth chi or materiality and boundlessness. Okay. And so then when we come around, we're radiating in all directions and bringing in from all directions. Okay. So this is kind of the yin and the yang. So one is this vertical, so repeat. So establishing this connection of this being, you, your body, your upright body, between earth and heaven, and reinforcing the flow of energy through that. And then touching out into all that is, acknowledging the connection to all that is. Okay. All right. And one more. So doing this with awareness, this is a very deep Dharma teaching of this unique separate self, and then its interbeingness with everything in the world. Okay. And this is a way to learn. I mean, this, we can talk about this and read about it, understand it. But by doing these movements, we're literally expressing these truths. We are an individual, each one of us, sort of suspended between Earth and the cosmos. And we are a very, very small part of all that is. Both these things are true. Okay. Go ahead and loosen up the head and neck, shoulders. You know, this one, this is directly related to the breath. So if we sit down, so open up. So this is breathing the stars in motion. So one way to see freedom is to be released from the trap of isolation. So that's what this does. It opens us up to our connectedness through the breath, with our connectedness with everything around us. And then so you fold in, that's the out breath. And then you can lean back, this is the in breath. So the movement actually pumps the air. Okay, let's do a few more. Okay, so we know breath is shared. And we say, my breath, my in breath, my out breath, I breathe. This is true. And it's also true, we're sharing the breath. We're sharing the air with everybody. So it's just nature. And by doing these movements, we participate wholeheartedly in this give and take, this yin and yang of nature. And by doing that, We feel good. Just leave it at that. Okay. Um, Tipping the pelvis. Okay. And circling the hips. So, we sit a lot in this culture, and please do these once in a while just to keep your lower back in shape. Okay, and then to improve your balance too. So shift. My sister, who is an internationally renowned martial artist and is older than me, says that as we age, uh, we lose some speed just in terms of martial arts, but we have better balance. Actually, balance can, according to her, can improve over time. Okay, so let's go into the flying or the crane Qigong. And the most basic crane is the breathing crane. And so this is where we just rest our hands on an imaginary sphere, the center of which is in the center of the body. And then as the belly expands, the hands move out. We want the belly to be very relaxed. Okay, very good. Breathing crane. So I'm now dipping the knees and then come up to here. So breathing crane here. And here we're really pumping the lungs. These are moving practices. Okay, and then both at the same time. And as we're feeling the body expand and relax and letting the hands move away and then return, we also want to be aware of behind us and left and right. So when the body expands, it expands in all directions. Okay, a couple more. And then reduce the movement. So we're not really moving our hands, they're just sort of resting on these bubbles. They're just sort of resting there. So they naturally move away and move back. Okay, very good. Um, so the classic flying crane, and we begin, we're kind of embracing the lower dantian here. We're sort of holding it. Uh, and then with the in-breath, so the crane begins to fly and come back. Out breath. Now, we're not bending at the waist here. We're just sitting down. Okay. Now to go higher, this takes 2 breaths or more. And so we want to do these cranes, flying cranes, with the breath and at any speed. So the arms are sort of riding on this expansion. It's almost just effortless, as if we're in water, warm water, and the arms just sort of drift up. And you can continue, you can go up very high if you want to. Some teachers will even say you can stand on your tiptoes. And as the arms go up and the eyes go up, they smile a little. And now you can do, if you want, you can do the dragon's eye. You touch the fingers to the thumb. Release. And then you can come down in stages. Okay. And then in Breathing Earth Qigong, we add the inner crane here. Okay, let's slowly reduce the movements. Okay. So flying crane is very upward. And so at the end, then we want to come back into a standing to sort of land. The crane has landed. Okay, very good. And break your stance if you want to. So the next one is crane walks the riverbank, and the hands in breath, and the hand goes behind the body when it goes down. The wrist is relaxed. Right. And so it's walking crane, and we're going to organize this so that it's the opposite arm and leg. So it's left hand and right leg, and right hand and left leg. Okay, let the ankle be relaxed. The foot just sort of hangs there. And of course, this is propelled, this is timed by the breath. Okay, let's reduce the movements. Tricia taught us too that we can expand on the crane walks the riverbank. So as we come up, we step forward, and then step back and step back. And what we used to do is we would do this in a circle. So we just all walk together. If you're on retreat somewhere, or if you're alone in the woods somewhere, you can walk like this. It's a very beautiful way to walk, and it slows everything down. And so the present moment gets bigger. Okay, very good. Let's go ahead and bring up our chair or stool. Now, we can do mindfulness meditation following the breath, and then when the mind strays, just bring it back to the breath and continually do that until you become one with the breath, or you get frustrated. Um, but that's a kind of a standard breath meditation. The Buddha taught too that you can use the breath to pace the mind. And by that, he meant that you can contemplate different things. And as long as you're aware that the breath is present, you will remain grounded in the breath and the body, so that the contemplation is wholehearted. So the breath is very foundational even to insight meditation practice or to contemplation. And so with sitting, we want to align the body between earth and sky. So dropping the chin just a little, pulling the shoulders back just a little. And you can help this with the breath by breathing in through the feet and the perineum, and then breathing out the top of the head, so that movement of the attention in the body aligns the body. And then you can breathe down from above and then back out the feet. Okay, very good. And so you can check back using the breath. You can check the alignment when you want to. And breathing the stars. What would it feel like to have the light of the stars penetrate every pore of the skin? So the body becomes luminous. How would that feel? And then how would it feel to radiate that light in all directions? And when we're doing these practices, often our breath tends to be a little intense. And so as we reduce the practice, just make it more subtle, the breath can begin to relax into long, slow, even, and fine. Okay, and so with breathing the stars, with the out breath, just extend the awareness out around the body. You can kind of imagine this big bubble. And then you are the bubble. You are the expanded sense of the body. And the physical body is in the middle of that. These are kind of layers of density. In the middle, the body is real dense. And then as the attention moves away from the middle in all directions, then it becomes finer. So the attention can move right into the physical body, the sensations of sitting, into the breath, the sensations of breathing, and then around the body, aware that this body is just one small thing in a vast space. And it's connected to all other beings. And long, slow, even, and fine. And we can be in both of these at once. So we can be totally present in the physical body and also in the expanded sense of self. It's kind of like peripheral vision. Can you be in the center of infinite space? And what does that feel like? So we can contemplate that this body not only came from the earth, but the earth itself came from an exploding star. That all the elements in the earth and all the elements in the body are not separate from those in the universe. And that this is our home, this vast place. So if we imagine all the stars in the night sky, or we look at the night sky, rather than feeling isolated and alone, we can feel, yeah, this is where I live. I belong here. I'm part of all this. I'm at home here. All right. Now, if you like, you can do or remember, um, you can do any of the movements that we've done tonight um, in your memory or imagination, following the breath. So all the flying cranes, tree in spring, opening the heart. You can imagine moving your arms and your body. Maybe your arms get very, very big. Okay, long, slow, even, and fine. Okay, very good. Let's take a few more breaths. And then just gradually move a little bit, fingers, toes. So this sense of this space around the body, the sense of this bigness is very relaxing. It tends to still the mind, and it tends to relax the body as we just go with the breath. So it's very useful from time to time during the day if you need to just take a deep breath, let it out, and then either connect vertically if you need to, or go into this expanded sense. And that slows everything down. And you can stay in that as long as you want. And then you can continue with whatever it is you're doing. But then you have this much bigger perspective on whatever it is rather than getting caught in, sort of looking down and shrinking down into this problem or issue or whatever it is. Okay. All right. So let's finish. So on the count of three, we'll clap our hands. 1, 2, 3. And massage your face as you see fit. tap the kidneys. Massage the kidneys. Okay, thank you so much for your practice. And if you'd like to stay for conversation for a few minutes, please do that.
Hope you're feeling better. Thank you very much.
Okay. Gallery. Okay.